I never thought my sister Katie would be the one keeping secrets. Growing up, she was the invisible one, the quiet, bookish weirdo who holed up in her room while I, Amanda, was the star of the show. Our parents doted on me, not just because I was the youngest, but because I was the one who needed them more. Or at least that's what they always said. Katie was the independent one. She never asked for anything, never demanded attention. It was easy to forget she was even there. But now I can't stop thinking about her. Or more specifically, about her bank account. It all came out on Thanksgiving. A perfectly normal holiday where I was prepared to bask in my usual spotlight. But then, like something straight out of a bad movie, I found out my boring, invisible sister was sitting on $50 million. And she hadn't told anyone. Let me back up. Our family dynamic was pretty simple. Katie existed in the background while I was front and center. Mom and Dad made sure of that. When I had a soccer game, they were in the stands screaming my name. When I got a B in algebra, they threw a damn celebration for my hard work. Meanwhile, Katie could ace every test, win every academic competition, and our parents barely looked up from their coffee. Did she complain? Nope, she just faded into the background, did her thing, and never made a fuss. I never saw her as competition. Hell, I barely saw her at all. And if she ever had a problem with how things were, she never said anything. So I assumed she was fine. And then she got rich. Not just doing well rich. Filthy, disgustingly, unfairly loaded. I found out because I walked in on her during Thanksgiving dinner. She was in her old bedroom on her laptop, working like she always did. I figured she was browsing Facebook or playing some nerdy online game. Then I saw the numbers. $55 million in her account. $485,000 pending transaction. Recent earnings, $54 million. I felt my stomach drop. My brain couldn't process it. My quiet, overlooked sister was a freaking millionaire. While I was busting my ass at a job that barely covered rent? While Mom and Dad struggled to help me with student loans? Well, I had to debate whether I could afford a goddamn Starbucks run. I grabbed her laptop before she could react and walked straight into the dining room. Everyone, you're gonna want to see this. And then I flipped the screen around. Everyone stopped eating. Mom blinked at the screen. Dad stared, mouth open. I could feel my pulse in my throat. I wanted her to explain herself, to justify why she kept this hidden. Katie just standed there, calm as ever. Then she sat down and said, yes, actually, I own one of the largest jewelry authentication companies in the country. That little antique shop you all joke about? It has offices in 3 cities. Mom turned red, then purple. You have millions and you let us struggle? Dad choked on his drink. I felt something twisting inside me, anger, jealousy, something worse. I thought about all the times I had to hear them call Katie a disappointment, all the times they praised me instead. And yet, she was the one who won in the end. She looked at Mom and said, struggle? I send you $7,000 every month. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. That's nothing compared to what you have, she snapped. You owe us. Katie looked at her then like she was really seeing her for the first time. I owe you? For what, exactly? She didn't have an answer. The argument exploded from there. Mom screamed about family obligations. Dad ranted about ungrateful children. I was crying half from rage, half from something else. And then Katie stood up, grabbed her laptop, her fancy designer bag, which I had always assumed was a fake, and walked out the door. Just like that. Mom started immediately making plans for how Katie's money could help the family. Dad was muttering about investments. And me? I just sat there, staring at the screen. The number $55 million burned into my brain. It's been months, and she won't return my calls. Mom and Dad tried to guilt trip her, but she cut them off completely. And now I'm left with this annoying, awful feeling that I can't shake. She was right. She didn't owe us anything. But that doesn't stop me from feeling like she does, like she owes me. I spent my whole life believing I was the successful one, the one who deserved the attention, the praise, the support. And yet, she was the one who made it out. I should be happy for her. I should let it go. But I can't. Because every time I check my bank account, every time I struggle to pay rent, every time I see someone wearing something expensive, I think about Katie. And I wonder, would it really be so wrong for her to share? Would it really be so bad? If some of that money ended up in my hands? God help me, I don't know if I'd say no.